It's December the 26th, 2015. I'm Dana Durnford, also known as the NuclearProctologist.org, and you can find my videos in Fukushima presentations, if I could ever get them to show up, live at livestream.com, many days a week. And if you look for Dana Durnford, you'll see that picture showing up. And because it's just another one of those days and weeks and months and years to some people. Hang on, I'll probably figure out what I'm doing when I get around to figure out what I'm doing. Oh. Hi, Alex. We'll say hi to everybody in the chat room. It takes us a few minutes to get up to speed. And every day is different. And today is no different. Yoink. I can kind of get it that way. Hang on. Get rid of me. Yoinky. There we go. Oh, now we really got rid of me. We're almost there. It takes us a few minutes to get these streams up and going. Okay. That's probably not cool. Anyway. This has all gone to shit pretty quick. Okay, I get it. Okay, you're not going to play ball today. Fine, good for you. Have a nice friggin' day. Does anybody know what's going on? There I be. I'm just having such a hard time. Let's say hi to everybody. Like you say, once again, it could take a few minutes to get these live streams going. It's bad enough trying to make a video. You imagine what it's like doing a live stream. It's total pandemonium, but that's the fun part of it. Hi, Shanikin, Elaine, Candace, Blake. I was going to call you Bake. Sorry, no offenses. Hi, Alex. Once again, Alex is a great musician, fantastic musician, and has contributed greatly to the near future of the documentaries. And we have other artists out there. I got to get a list of people and show them off, hopefully get their permission. And we got some serious musicians on this planet, just incredible, talented musicians out there all over the planet, folks. Bob, and that is a big thing, right? Hi, everybody. Hi, Bob, Michael. Thank you, Blake. I know. Yeah, you can laugh with us. Elaine. Candace getting a lot of buffering. I'll post it at YouTube, Beautiful Girl by Dana, after. And so let's get rid of hi to RWP. I came over here to get rid of my Adobe Flash. So that way we haven't got two streams on to go. And maybe Candace will get a better stream. If Dana ever starts. There we go. We're in good shape. Yankee Doodle Dandy. Well, I'm not in good shape, but you're probably in good shape. How about that? What you see below me is a representation, according to the FBI in America, what would happen if they had a nuclear exchange with Russia. That was 1996 or something. But you can see right here, and I'll bring that up into the big pretty screen for you. This model is based upon 3 or more tests where the clouds travel in that direction. So each line you see is based on heavy exposure, dramatic exposure. And the fact that they left anything black instead of making everything white is amazing. Because that's how wind works. Wind doesn't just blow down a straight line like an automobile or like a train or like a jogger or whatever the case may be. I jogged for years, and I went in the woods, and every pothole I ran through it. And I found all kinds of weird mountain goat shortcuts that I took. And so when I got home, I was usually soaking wet or cold or miserable. You get 120 years of fog back where I come from. So everything is damp. And so you run through the woods till you were exhausted and you go home. Didn't matter if it was raining or snowing or just totally miserable. That was more incentive to go. Just saying. I don't know why I said that, but that's the way I told you that, rather. But that's the way I was years ago. Use nuclear fuel and storage throughout America. This is just America I'm talking about for this second. There's Russia and China and Israel and Canada, and there's everybody else out there that's at it. Use nuclear fuel and storage. They got nowhere to put it. They got no repository. They got no way of containing the waste. They got no solutions. So nuclear was on its way out anyway. Fukushima just was pushed it over the cliff, so to speak. Okay. But when you look at Fukushima, sometimes I get my act together and sometimes I don't. Maybe I get my act together over here. Who knows? Everything's possible. Anything is possible. Except for that. Hang on. Here we go. Fukushima had a 9.0 earthquake. It traveled through the country at 9,000 miles per hour. Imagine a baseball coming in your kid's glove at 9,000 miles per hour. Imagine trying to clean the windshield while you're going 9,000 miles per hour. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it ran into Florida 30 minutes later. Wait a second, Japan's on the other side of the friggin' planet, so to speak. The ocean, anyway. For most people, it's the other side of the planet. Depending on what side of the planet you're on, I suppose. It shook the country for 6 minutes. 6 minutes. Imagine shaking your baby for 6 minutes. If some stranger come up and shook your baby violently for 6 minutes, would you be like, oh, how cute? Would you like shoot a video and put it up on YouTube and say, look, this guy loves my kid? What do you think YouTube would say if they seen a video of somebody shaking a baby for 6 minutes? What do you think the police would say? What do you think the parole board would say when they were trying to get out of jail? Because that's where they would go, right? But anyway, 6 minutes, it shook the whole country. People in Tokyo had to sit on the ground. The buildings in Tokyo, there was one video there of 39 videos that are swaying. They're swaying for 6 minutes. Skyscrapers. Now, skyscrapers are not supposed to do that. And nobody bothered telling the earthquake that the earthquake don't respect borders or community laws or anything like that. The earthquake, no one can hold them accountable. No one's going to put the earthquake in jail. No one's going to give them a big fine. But the only thing more powerful than an earthquake is Google. And corporations with corporate personhood. Anyway, the earthquake was considered 1,000 times worse than Haiti by media. And I agree. Particularly when you take in the fact that there was a tsunami that ran through the country about 53 minutes later. Give or take a few minutes. Dana said 53 minutes. He was off by 2 minutes. You can't trust anything he says. So, here's a tsunami hitting a nuclear power plant. This is why Fukushima has killed the nuclear industry permanently. It's because when they built them there, they knew that would happen at some point. When they built them there, they knew there was nowhere to put the fuel, and they knew the fuel would get washed away or would catch fire and burn off. They knew all of that when they built it. They were aware of all of that. It was, take the money and run, son. Don't look back, Jack. You don't need to be morally obligated, Abe. You just listen to the nuclear cartel. These people are set up on an agenda. This is an extinction event for the whole planet. This is an agenda. This was well thought out. They never built them there for something to do. They just celebrated it by turning all your radiation detecting equipment off in the countries. Now, you supplied the radiation detecting equipment. You gave them a job. You gave them monetary. You gave them authority. You gave them education. You gave their kids new braces and a free college education. Yeah. And what did they do to reward you when something funny happened? They said there was nothing there. I kid you not. And now they rolled out the PR firms, which includes the University of Victoria in British Columbia, Canada, and that law school, that demented, twisted, sick, heartless, soulless, cold, demented Law School in UVic, University of Victoria, British Columbia, and Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, which is part of the military industrial machine. It's funded by the military. Almost 10 parts of the military fund Woods Hole. Woods Hole is connected to the military directly through the jobs they get, through the places that they protect. Who protected BP after the British petroleum oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico? That was, Woods Hole. They said, no, Corex is fine. Shut up, slave. And so what they done to you was, they buried it. 9/11, September 11, 2011, when all that dust, we won't go down to the minutiae of it, but all that dust, full of at least asbestos, amongst who knows what else, Woods Hole come out and said, no, that's fine. Tell that to the first responders' families. And every other catastrophic event from a corporation has been covered up by Woods Hole and all your institutions and universities. That's how it works. That's how your society works in all countries. Your courts are full of the most impoverished people who can't defend themselves, right? The private children don't show up in court. They go to mediation. Private children don't learn what your children learn in public school. Private schools and private institutions don't get jobs with labor. They get jobs as the bosses. One rule for them and another rule for you. And no rules for the corporation. But anyway, the tsunami ran through the country. It took out around close to 500 miles of the coastline, was highly impacted. There was a 2,000 square miles of debris. And if you don't know what impacted means, let me give you a quick picture so you can kind of wrap your mind around it. That's what impacted means. Now, if I gave you a brand new toaster and some toast and butter and jam, I said, go find a spot to plug it in. You look at me like I had 6 heads. You throw the toaster away, or you strangle me with that brand new quart, and you put butter on your bread and eat that friggin' jam on it because you were starving to death because there's nothing nowhere, let alone power, yeah? Yeah? Yeah. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah? Yeah. So, what about if the nuclear power plants have to get power within an hour and a half? Then what? What about they blew up because they never had no power a day and a half later because they had already melted down? That's why they blew up. That's why they melted down, because they never got no power. That's why they look like that. That's Unit 1. That's Unit 2. These are now confirmed gone. That's Unit 3. That's now confirmed gone. That's Unit 4. It's now confirmed gone. But remember, for the last couple of years, they rolled out debt. Do you remember that? But you got to ask yourself, if it looked like that, what did he need debt for? Hang on. I'll help you out here. Dana can help you. Right, so they show you 2 pictures. They're both official pictures. Let me come over to that. Over to there. There. We're right there. So here's 2 buildings. What is wrong with that picture? One of these pictures are not like the other. Can you guess which one? They're kind of the same. So 2 of these pictures here are different than what all the media told you. That's the pictures I put in there, right over to the far end. That's what they look like. But look what they showed you, and they said it was like on the inside. Here's Seth Dorn from CBS. He claims he's inside of the building above him and alongside of him. Wait a second, the building's exploded. They detonated. How can you have something symmetrical in a building that was brought all the way down to the floor? How can you have a fuel pool with all the walls and the building perfectly intact in the ceiling? Oh yeah, the ceiling. Yeah. You don't believe me? Oh, yeah, I mean, he tore it off, but they rolled out pictures like that. And rolled a picture like that because he said it was inside of that. But that wasn't just TEPCO. That was all the major media on the planet come out and told you that same lie. I put the pictures alongside of it to show you how big that lie was. Right? Look at Informable. They show you a beautiful building. Look at the pictures alongside of it. The official pictures. These are all official pictures, but one of them don't belong there. Can you guess which one it is? It's the one with a beautiful building and people inside of it. You can't get inside of Chernobyl. You can't get inside of Chernobyl. You can't get inside of any of these events, right? Hang on, I'll talk about Chernobyl for a second. Hang on. Hang on. I'm almost there. Hold it. I know the internet only got a 30-second moment. See, I'm pretty quick. As long as you're quicker than 30 seconds, you can kind of hold the internet's attention for another 30 seconds. So it's a constant struggle. Here they are flying over Chernobyl. 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 That's a new word. I made it up. That's my word. Don't use it. It's my word. I'm going to get a patent on it tomorrow. I'm going to try to sell it to Google. You think I'm kidding? You don't know me very well. Chernobyl lasted 10 days. Fukushima never stopped. Chernobyl was 1/3 the size of an reactor and the reactors and a 30% meltdown. Fukushima had 4 full meltdowns. Chernobyl is over 1 million dead, according to 3,500 translated studies from Russia and Ukraine. And that was published in the New York Academy of Science. But in Fukushima, none died. Fukushima had 4 full meltdowns. Okay. But we know there's 4,800 died of workers, and we know there's 800 homeless missing that we know about. But we assume there's 10 or 15,000 homeless at least are dead. But Chernobyl, they abandoned it. Fukushima, you get a free home if you're pregnant with much higher radiation. It's still abandoned in Chernobyl. They plowed down the homes in Chernobyl. Fukushima, you get a free home. It's abandoned. We'll fix it up for you. We'll sacrifice people to fix it for you. Chernobyl, you're using graphite. Fukushima was MOX fuel. Now, Fukushima's MOX fuel was where they took the missiles from silos after 40, 50 years, reclaimed the plutonium, uranium, and then put it through a chain reaction again. Now, that is not supposed to be done. There's many reasons for it. We won't get into it tonight. But Chernobyl contaminated EU, and you still can't eat the meat, drink the milk, or sell the land in UK, Ireland, Scotland. You can't shoot the reindeers only at Christmas in northern Ukraine. You can't, right now you can finally buy fish, not that is safe, not that you should, but you can buy fish and produce fish, rather, catch fish commercially after 26 years in Sweden. Sweden. Okay, just 2 more points I'm going to make before we talk about Chernobyl. Fukushima killed the Pacific. We proved that, and I'll show you a little bit of that later on. Chernobyl core is located. And Fukushima, we don't know where the 4 cores are to. And nobody else does either. Not just me, not just you, but nobody else does. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Alright. Let's keep going. No, Dana, go. I said go, Dana, not do that shit. So rain simulating regions used during Chernobyl to protect Moscow from fallout. Think about this. To protect Moscow from fallout. Let's just ponder on that. They're chemtrailing the skies to protect Moscow. That's Chernobyl. That's the regions they're talking about. Now, I've talked about this from day one, right? But in the last 2 years, I've talked about it many times. But rain simulating regions used during gerbils. Experts recommend the same over the Pacific for Fukushima. Now, the people who say chemtrailing don't exist need to look in the mirror. Oh yeah, that's you too, baby. And think about Vietnam. The chemtrail the sky for 9 years. Now think about the dispersal, how that works. So look at the Fukushima dispersal, for instance. Right after a few days is right across the Pacific Ocean. Do you think that the chemtrails from Vietnam are any different? For 9 years, chemtrailing the sky over Vietnam, yeah? But on April the 4th, 2011, forecasts from major institutions, I can provide some of that documentation. if that's what it takes. That's what it takes to make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. See below me? See how cool that is? You can't do that, can you? You don't got a shitty TV in your desk, do you? I don't either. More of that later. Latest forecast. Here's all kinds of forecast. But that was April the 4th forecast over here. But here's all kinds of forecasts for the Pacific Ocean. Pacific Ocean. Pacific Ocean. That's NOAA. That's land. So do you think that might fall into the ocean? See, the models of the ocean, like that, are not including the fallout. They're only talking about the stuff that's going in the ocean. But it also is constantly going into the ocean. It's constantly going into the atmosphere. Hence the reason I'm showing you one below. Pay attention. I'm only telling you 500 more times. Okay, I'll just keep telling you anyway. But the models are everywhere. Yeah, these are all ocean models. Ocean, that's land models. See, two different models. Ocean. Ocean. Here's one you never thought about, huh? Think about, it's not just the ocean, it's the land too. I know that's a novel idea when you look at them all combined, right? Don't ask me why that is important, because you shouldn't have to. CCM plume forecast for North America and Europe. Who is this? This is France modeling the fallout. Modeling the fallout. Modeling the fallout. The fallout. You know, like from Jimmy Savile. The fallout. Modeling the fallout. Don't believe me? Here's another one. Norwegian Institute for Research. Modeling. Modeling. Look the word up. Modeling. Look it up. I know you think you know what it means, but look it up. Modeling. I'll show you another model. That's capitalism's model. That's your media model. Enough about that. Let's keep going with the really important stuff. Because that's important too. Don't get me wrong. Modeling. When you put them all together, you get models. See? Teeny freaking conspiracy theorists. Severe impact on oceanic environment. Severe impact on oceanic environment. But the media come out and tell you it was gorgeous on the inside, and so what happened was you felt safe. You got lulled into it. You thought there was nothing to worry about. You believed them because why wouldn't you? Well, you shouldn't believe until you look up the documentation yourself. Right? You shouldn't. Don't believe the media. How can you have a building like that? You got to use a hose to spray water in on it, and then say everybody looks like that. We all know the building blew up. We know what the building looked like originally. We know they tore it down, tore it apart. There's no roof on it, but you showed us the roof. You showed us that, but at the same time you showed us that. Why would you have that if it looked like that and looked like that in that, and we know it melted down like that because it was in that. And that the whole country was like that. Hang on, I got to get Zoe. Hang on, Zoe. Hang on, buddy. Hang on. Yeah, there's a few cougars, buddy. Not like for that. Go ahead. Left, right. Go ahead, up here. Hang on, folks. Hang on, I'm back. I'm back, baby. Don't know, the spooks could be on the go. I got some more death threats anyway. Let's have a quick look at that while we're talking about it. Yoink. Dana, you gotta get rid of that shit first, Dana. Okay. Dana, you gotta get rid of the nice fine folks that are here saying hi. Okay. Dana, you gotta go to your desktop and laptop. Okay. Blocking anyone you don't understand is the end of Dana. Jeff Rentz hasn't much time either. Well, you know, there's a 500 million people got the same feature, and they use it for people that won't even listen to my idea, that insist that it's like a banana or a potato chip or walking in sunshine, if that's what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. You have a blank account. Like Herb said, seen people like you all my life, and only been one way to deal with you. That was to kill you. That was to shoot you right away, right? For blocking them, I don't know who you are. You got these ghost accounts, so to me, you know, you don't put down what your issue is. You don't say, I have to block people. I can't. I got over 1,000 videos, and that people come in, and I'll show you one of those comments from the night. It's still sitting there. I haven't blocked them yet. I'll block them when I go back. Let me show you another one. That's my prerogative. That's why YouTube gave me that feature, so I can block shitheads. Now, this is the guy 4 hours ago. This is fear-mongering, just like Nuclear Planet. What's the Galen Windsor nuclear scare scam? Nuclear scare scam. Nuclear scare scam. Galen, look, you can take the nuclear material before it went through a chain reaction and pick it up. You can't fucking eat it, though. That's what you're saying there. Galen Windsor even eats radioactive material to show how it isn't even a problem. He's a whack job. He's a total whack job for the industry. He's like Rod Adams. He's like Ian Goddard. He's like James Colbert. He's like Woods Hole. He's like University of Victoria in British Columbia, Canada. He's a whack job. You cannot eat something there. If you took a pound of this stuff, you couldn't eat it, and you would kill everybody, 1,500 people every 20 minutes. That's why we have terrorist laws for dirty bombs. That's why, like, this stuff is so dangerous, is well known. Let me show you some reasons and people that have proved how dangerous it is repeatedly. Anytime you're ready, Dana. Yoink. Okay, I got to reset that one because these are wide pictures. So bye-bye, Dana. Till we get this done anyway. So Dr. Raymond Gilmedy. I can be a shithead and just move myself over, I suppose. Maybe I can catch a few extra frames. Anytime you're ready, Dana, just move over. Dana, when you're ready. Oh, I'm there already. Okay. Dr. Raymond Gilmedy from Loveless Respiratory Research Institute. Like the way I said that? Like that. That's my word. Don't steal it from me. I'm going to get a patent on that one, too. Oh. Friggin' arm is frigged up. Slept almost all day today. Never even went out the door again. Anyway, Dr. Raymond Gilmedy, forgot what I was doing there. Dr. Raymond Gilmedy from Loveless Respiratory Research. So here he is. He's using curium. Curium is the biggest production of fuel rods. After they went through the chain reaction, Galen, whatever the frig his name is, not going to be eating this stuff. I'll just prove it to you right here. Curium isotopes are major byproducts in radiated nuclear fuel. Are the major byproducts. Major. Means a lot. Means really playful. Now, he done this on dogs. And he showed the same thing as he done with plutonium and americium. Toxicity. That's a new word for me again tonight. That's my word. You leave it alone. I'm getting a patent on that one, too. Toxicity of inhaled plutonium dioxide in beagle dogs. This is stuff that went through a chain reaction. And by the way, 144 beagle dogs, and death from radiation occurred from 1.5 to 5.4 years after exposure. Tumors in the lungs, the skeleton, the liver occurred beginning about 3 years after exposure. Bone tumors in 93 dogs. This was 144 dogs, yeah? 144 dogs. And they all died from, tumors. But there's 1,800 autoimmune deficiencies that show up before the tumors, before they diagnose with cancer, before they die of cancer. Alzheimer's, dementia, diabetes, autism passed on to your children, respiratory, liver, lung, heart problems, pituitary glands, Lung tumors found in 46 dogs were the second most common cause of death. Liver tumors were found in 20 dogs, but were the cause of death in only 2 dogs. Occurred later than the tumors in the bung. That's my word, too. The bung. I think somebody right here got a patent on that one. Tumors in the bones and the lungs. So they still had all these tumors, but the liver wasn't the one that got them. So when it goes in your body's flooded with white blood cells. Even just an atom. You put 2 million atoms on the head of a needle, you can't see it. But that's 2 million cancers if you distribute it out, because it's got extra electrons from the neutron bombardment. It got that after it went through the chain reaction, not before. I watched Galen Windsor, or whatever the hell his name was. Let's run back to that for 1 second. Not that one, Dana. This one. Not that one, Dana. Okay. So anyway, what does he look like? The Postal Service? The Postal Service. He's got 3,400. 3,400 subscribers. Paris false flag hoax. Now they're calling false flag, anybody who says it's a false flag is a hoax. And he's citing Fox News. He's got Donald Trump. There is no hope for this person. Paris false flag retraction. Look at this. What the hell is that? Hoax actor. Who knows? Like, he's so far down Fox News and CNN and MSNBC, there's literally no hope for him. Could be a good person. Who knows? Hang on. Let's try one more. Let's see what else he got there. Let's see how good he done. He got Hillary there. Fake explosions in the stadium. Sandy Hook. English speaking. Mercenaries. But he's got so much mainstream media there, it's hard to wrap your mind around what he is. But when you take his statement that he left on my video, this is fear-mongering, just like New World Planet. Watch the Galen Windsor nuclear scare scam. This is a single person on the internet with a single video, but he's the guy everybody runs to. The nuclear cartel, the nuclear PR firms shove Galen out there all the time. But there's only one Galen. But see, there's many Dr. Raymond Gilmedys. Many Dr. Raymond Gilmedys. Not just one Dr. Raymond Gilmedy. Okay, there's only one Dr. Raymond Gilmedy, but there's many scientists like him. People have chopped out that word and they'll just use, Dana says there's only one nuclear scientist killing dogs. Who knows where I'm to, what I'm doing, how I done this, what I got done to myself. Let's go back. See, there's Boxing Day. Just come over and say hi to everybody. I like saying hi to everybody. Bye-bye, shithead. Paul, whatever your name was. But there's his comment on that video. Fukushima means never eating Pacific. He says, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. It only kills dogs, Dana. It only kills dogs, Dana. Hey, Black Blade. Sylvia. Hi, Merry Christmas. Hi, Zoe from that ass. Nep Killer. Oh, you can't see yourself, sir, can you? Danny got everybody hit away. They're not under my skin. Nothing gets under my skin. That's why I'm still standing. Okay, no pun intended. That's why I'm still sitting here. You don't get under my skin. I'm frustrated because the Pacific Ocean is dead. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Hey. Let's talk about the dead of the Pacific Ocean. What the hell are you talking about, Dana? Dead of the Pacific Ocean? That's bullshit, Dana. There's no dead of the Pacific Ocean. Oh, okay. Hang on. You asked for it. Remember that when I show you what I'm going to show you. So, that's probably not going to help you. That's not going to help you. Well, that'll help you later, I'm sure, but that's not going to help you. Let's fix everything. All right. As sea stars die, no worries about urchins. Okay. So what's your evidence? Oh shit, they done 4 sites along 200 miles. Wow. And they declared a mass mortality event for sea urchins because they were impacted along 200 miles by a mystery virus, a mystery pathogen, a mystery. To everybody that is stupid. Okay, you don't have to be stupid to be a mystery. You just got to follow these idiots. There are particular signs that point to this being a wasting event, and know the way the animals are dying. Okay. Now, 4 spots along 200 miles, and then the 5th spot off Baja, California. Baja, California. Baja. See, I knows what I'm saying. They stop frigging around. The Guardian, Hell on Earth. Chernobyl was the worst. This is 2006. They're still out there saying that, of course, but 2006, Chernobyl. Okay. Chernobyl lasted 10 days, third sentence from the top. And for the next 10 days, spewed the equivalent of 400 Hiroshima bombs. That's a lot of bombs. 400 Hiroshima bombs. And 400 Hiroshima bombs. And 400. Shut up, Dana. And anyway, it contaminated UK, Ireland, Scotland, Switzerland. They only opened the freshwater industry 2 years ago. I can't sell the meat in UK, Ireland, Scotland. They contaminated 150,000 square miles that they admit to. All right. Well, what we, and I'll say Dana and the Hounds of Fukushima done, is we done 15,000 miles of the coastline of Canada, right from one end of it, right to the other end of it. 260 days. 260 days. CD. I'm trying to make it like a 50 cents one. 50. So 260. Yeah, okay. Next time, Dana, maybe. So we put together this operation. We toiled and slaved. And we raised the money and people sacrificed. And we went and we done the entire coastline. That's up at the NuclearProctologist.org. And you can, anytime you're ready, Dana, NuclearProctologist.org. Dana Durnford. Yeah. It's all right there, mister. No. That way, right. Thank you. That way. Okay. So we done 15,000 miles in the boat. And instead of looking like that, symmetrically anywhere, but the whole coastline should look like that. The entire coastline. You know the coastline, the one I just showed you? 26,000 islands up there. We scoured it for 260 days. We put the documentation up. Instead of looking like that, it looks like this. Instead of looking like that, it's naked, the whole coastline. I'll just run down that for a few moments for everybody. Because that's how I row. So the whole coastline is naked. These are pictures I took. And it should look like that. It should look like that, but it looks like that. It should look like this wherever you set your foot down, but it looks like that. It looks like that. Instead of like that, it looks like that. Doesn't look like that, looks like that. Not like that, but like that. Not like this, but like that. Not like this 75 leatherback sea stars per square meter. No. In the same spot, that's where that's supposed to be right there. These are all from Louise Narrow's and the Queen Charlotte's and the Haida Gwaii and the archipelagos at the top of that page. To your left, the outside islands. Around the center of the outside islands on the inside. These pictures are all from that. And so the pictures before that I'm showing you, like that, that's actually from the same spot. The majority of pictures I'm showing you pre-Fukushima are from that spot. And that's what it looks like now. These are, we done that during that 15,000 mile expedition. Doesn't look like that anywhere. Nowhere. Zero. Friggin' nothing. It's like that everywhere you go. Instead of looking nice and healthy, it looks like that. They're coming up. Yeah? Now we went on these beaches. We took 1,000 to 2,000. That spot there took 3,000 pictures. It doesn't look like that anymore. It's naked. The whole shoreline. So this is the back of an island, and the ocean current would fly through here. Really rich in oxygen. And everybody would go from all over the planet in their great big yachts and go here and get out, and that entire shoreline all the way up to the trees would be a oasis, an archipelago of life. It would be the most amazing experience imaginable, and there's nothing there now. So instead of looking like this, so, like I've done this all my life on the ocean, every industry. Above the ocean and below the ocean. And when you consider that there's nothing left on the shoreline, and that this is only the 5,600 residential indigenous species, when they disappear like they have, what should happen? The 4.2 million other species should recede the coastline. That's Dr. Raymond Gilmany. What radiation does. Like I showed you earlier. See? How can you ignore what I'm saying to you? And because I'm the only person out there with the capacity and ability to really drive that point home, and then went out and done these expeditions. Right? We went out and done the expeditions. We done this. It's done. We don't need to go do it. We done it. Every dot, every arrow you see is a representation of scouring those areas, of tying on the trees with 3 beach lines and a heavy anchor, and not even being able to eat because it's so friggin' rough, of being washed up on the rocks 3 a.m. in the morning in hurricanes, of seas you can't even imagine. I went up against the entire Mother Nature for 260 days. I went for 5 months without coming home. We had to find out. We had to know. And who better than someone like myself with the history I got, and the fact that I won't lie to you, the fact that I don't misrepresent what I talk about, the fact that I'm able to articulate everything so articulate because I've done it for so long, should tell you the story, is the hopes, and that we could have a conversation. But because of the people out there talking about Galen Windsor, or whatever his name is, saying he can eat it, and then the PR firm talking about bananas and potato chips, it's impossible for anybody to understand what I'm saying to them. They can't even digest anything I'm saying to them because they're so used for 70 years of hearing about bananas and walking in the sunshine and getting on an airplane that we got to deal with these anti-human monsters. These are anti-life monsters. Look, we've done that whole coastline. And when it's empty like that throughout the whole coastline, instead of looking like that, that's an extinction event because the 4 million other species didn't recede the coastline. And that right now, I don't have what it takes to be able to push myself out there because I don't get donations like everybody that says it like a banana or downplays it. They get millions of dollars. I get fuck all. And what I get, I use it really well. But I get fuck all in context. I don't have any regrets what we done. That was amazing. We done it on incredible budgets where we would go a week with nothing, stuck out there in the middle of nowhere, and finally get a video up to beg for money to keep going. For 260 days, that's all I really done was pandered and begged for people to fund this operation so we can go find out was there damage, and look what we found out is all gone. It no longer looks like that. The entire thing is naked. The whole coastline. There's less than 100 species throughout the coastline. In the tidal zones, there should be 5,600 species. 600 algae, 78 species of starfish, 76 species of sea anemones. And these all come in different colors in each species. There should be all the snails and mollusks and shellfish and periwinkles and scallops and abalones and oysters and little necks and manila clams and razorbacks, and just this smorgasbord that would normally exist, and now you don't see any shells. Those beaches are made of shells, but there's no shellfish anymore. That documentation is at thenuclearproctologist.org. Rain with 20 million particles of radioactive iodine, but there's 10 more times more iodine-132. There was 30 times more iodine-133. There was 31 times more iodine-129. This is man-made. This is not natural iodine we're talking about. This is electrons from a chain reaction, neutron bombardment. So the atomic weight is a unique weight, but it acts like iodine. But the iodine-129, there's 31 times more in that same water than there was 20 million particles of the 131. They tell you the 131 because it got an 8-day half-life. But the iodine-129 got a 15 million year half-life. And so, this is here till the end of time. Even if it's just a cloud came through, one single cloud, but it didn't stop. We have to stop ignoring it and develop technology to remediate soil and water so it's consumable and we can grow food in it and that we can nourish what is left on the planet. We've killed 4 million species in the Pacific Ocean. This is an extinction event. And we need to find a way forward, and we can't do it anymore with this 2,000 PR firms that gets a total of billions of dollars a year to smash people that talk like I do. But there's no one out there like me. So I got arrested. I've been charged. I've been vilified. I've been demonized in the media right across my country. And my loved ones have contacted me and asked me, was this true? Did I utter the death threats? Was I really, truly going to be charged and convicted of this and smeared? And my loved ones would be smeared at the same time. I said, no. They took a video, a 1-hour video. They took a soundbite. They typed it out. They didn't have any pictures. They didn't have any context. They didn't put in the fact that I said you have to change the laws to hang these criminals in the future for telling people to eat the fish that is okay when it's not. It's not safe. And that's why it exists. Telling someone to eat the fish is murder. That's cancer. That's autoimmune deficiencies. For children, 11 becquerels a kilogram cause permanent lesions on their organs. Permanent. 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 So their loved ones have to liquidate their assets to take care of that child. Their loved ones have to spend most of their life chasing down fables and cures, alleged cures, from the pharmaceutical industry that has no intention to cure them. There's no money in cures. There's zero money in cures. There's only money in long-term treatment and more treatment and more treatment and complications from all the treatments that are all based upon synthetic chemical concoctions. There's over 3,000 chemicals that are categorized as food. 3,000. So I can take chemicals, make a chocolate bar, but it's not even a chocolate bar. There's no chocolate. But it looks like chocolate, and you give it to your children. Like, we live in a world where you got the power, but you don't understand that. Where only a handful of corporations, you know, like the nuclear industry, got 2,000 PR firms. Why? It was like a banana or a potato chip or walking in the sunshine. Why? Huh? Because it's not. That's why we got terrorist laws. That's why we got nuclear waste site. That's why they have those maps. They're worried about America, Russia attacking them, right? But 20 million particles of radioactive iodine. But the reactors run on plutonium and uranium. They were using mixed oxide fuel, which is 2 million times worse than any other current reactor on the planet. Serious questions arising about why Canadian government failed to alert the public about radioactive rain after Fukushima. So I went into your rivers, your lakes, your estuaries. That's why we got no snow in the mountains in British Columbia. There is no snow in the mountains in British Columbia. It took thousands of years for the ice pack to show up there. We got snow, but there's no ice pack, I'm sorry. It disappeared. That's why the salmon couldn't get up the river. There was no water coming down from the ice pack. That's why the trout and the frog and the bird population also was devastated this year, because there was no cold water coming down the rivers to the coastline that cools the estuary like it has for tens of thousands of millenniums. And that it would take 1,000 to 10,000 years to rebuild the ice pack. This was blue ice. This was harder than rock. We've had an event on the planet. And we need somebody out there with the authority and the knowledge and the power and ability to shake and move with these people. I don't know who that person is. I can't find them. I'm trying. We need someone that is capable of breaking through if they can get their attentions. Anybody's attention. Somebody that can really get through it. I don't know who that person is. All I got to do is say it's not like a banana or a potato chip or walking in the sunshine, but I can't find them. I don't know where they're to. That is 100% reliable. I guarantee to do the job if given the opportunity. I know I was given an opportunity. And that I'd done the job. Period. Through thick or thin, through hell, and through hell again many times over. And that I was vilified and demonized and attacked and smeared and ridiculed, marginalized constantly. The whole time I was out there on the ocean, I wasn't able to defend myself, and they were destroying me. When I come ashore, I got arrested. But I have to be able to get out there soon and do lectures and presentations, because I don't see any other way around this. So I'm setting things up so I can go do that. I'm setting myself up so that I can get out there and meet the people. And also at the same time, I'm setting myself up to produce a documentary about what I've done and the hounds of Fukushima done. But that's not enough. But I know I've done so much, but I don't consider it what I done enough. It's never enough. I'm not hearing the narrative. I'm not getting the interviews that I should be getting. I'm not getting the responses I expect. I'm not getting the curiosity that is pertinent. I know that the University of Victoria in British Columbia, Canada, Constable Steve Crooks, in tandem with the University of Victoria, and in tandem with Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution and the FBI, because I got that in the disclosure from the court case, that they used sophisticated software to censor me on YouTube. That's in the disclosure. Along with Google, they used sophisticated techniques to censor me and to censor people who came to my site, to marginalize me without a trial, without a warrant. But once again, I don't know who the person is who can break through. I can't break through because they're all over me. I can't break through because they're focused on me, because there's 2,000 PR firms with no opposition on the way I feel as me. Because I'm out there all the time slugging it out, and I'm getting all the blowback from it. I'm not saying there's not thousands of incredible activists on the planet, because there is. But I'm saying that I'm in the front lines. I'm the guy who went out on the ocean. I'm the guy who can back it up. I'm the guy who studied it enough. But I'm not that guy, obviously. I can't break through. I can't find a way through. It's not for lack of trying. It's not for lack of sacrifice. It's not for lack of hope. It's not for lack of optimism. And it's not for lack of support. Because I get incredible support. I forget that sometimes. And, when I'm live streaming, things get said. But don't think for a second I'm going to sit here all day long and count my blessings that I done what I done, and I accomplished what I accomplished, and that I was able to get this far anyway, before I got arrested and demonized and vilified and permanently targeted. And that I have no defenses without a big support network, and I'll never get that. That's how I feel. I'll never get the support I need. I'll never get the momentum that I need so that we can break through the lies and the misinformation, because the trolls won't give it up. The Ian Gardner's not going to go away. James Colbert is not going to stop Fukushima Update, stop showing you Woods Hole, stop showing you University of Victoria. They're not going to stop that. See, they're going to keep pumping it out. The media, including the alternative media, keeps pumping out these crazies. They say something, they put it out there with no way to mitigate what they just put them out there. Why would you give these lying sacks of fucking shit a platform? What the fuck is wrong with you? Do you really think you're fucking helping by putting them up on your page? Do you think you're fucking doing any kind of help at all? Because you're not. You're a fucking moron for doing that. Don't put them anywhere. If you put them anywhere, put the word fuck off in front of them every time. Fuck off this, fuck off that. Fuck off lying sack of nuclear puke. It's because it's not me, it's you. That's what I'm telling you. It's not me that everybody's putting their weight and hoping behind. It could be, but it's not. It's you. You're the power. You're the voice. You're the indelible future, if you choose to be. At some point you will do it because you have no option. At some point you'll do it because you understand that it's better late than never. That's all I am. I'm no different than that. And I just won't go away. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to be put down. I'm not going to let all the lies affect me because they're lies. I'm not going to let that. But how do you not? When you're demonized, you're vilified constantly in the media, and then people that for the PR firm are pumping those links out everywhere. And these people won't even give you the time of day. They won't even listen for a second. They won't even look at the graph. They won't even look at the documentation. They won't look at the headline. No, 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 Dana, no, Dana. The professor won't lie, Dana. You're a professor. All the other universities will call him out, Dana. It's because you are a prisoner of your TV set. You're a prisoner of your newspaper. You're a prisoner because you're too stupid to go read on your own. You're too incapacitated and too dumbed down with the GMO and the fluorides and the pharmaceuticals to even be anything but lethargic at best. You're too lazy to even care about your own life, let alone your loved ones or your friends or your families. You're too self-centered. You're too egotistic. You're too me, I, phone, iPad, I status. You're too caught up in your own little fucking world. You don't think about the future. You think about 5 minutes ahead. You think about self-gratification. You think about how do I look cool? How do I be trendy? I don't see the world like that. I sit here all day long. I go through documentation. I can't take it anymore, and I do these videos. Because at the end of the day, I realize the one thing every time. That if I don't try something, every fucking day I'll hate myself the next day. I'll fucking hate myself. And I'll do it the next day, but I'll hate myself for a long time because I missed a day. Because I could have found a way. I could have tried harder. I could have thought this out better. So hugs for everybody. I'll come and say goodnight to everybody. I'm just saying, just because I miss a couple of days don't mean I'm not here agonizing and struggling and contemplating and learning and thinking and organizing. Because that's what I do. That's all I do. I don't do nothing else. I don't know how to do anything else. I don't know how to think about anything else. Only how do we wake this planet up and deal with this event? How do we move forward? How are we going to find a way forward? And I have I think, a lot of great ideas along the way, but I guess I get an education as I do this anyway. I become good at this software. I can produce a better documentary. The more of these streams I do, the better the documentary is going to be. Hugs for everybody. Hugs for everybody. I hear you, Elaine. Thank you. Shanikan. Let me fix that. Can't see. Can't see. You can't see, and then it don't make any sense, right? There you go. It's a bit better. Say goodnight to everybody. Good night, everyone. Hi, Kate. Love you, sweetie. Thank you. Oomph. I know. I'm just saying. Hi, Mindy. Nathan. Black Blade. Shanikin. Mickey. Hey, buddy. You made it. Just cruising. Death Killer Bob. Say goodnight to everybody. Good night, everyone. Thank you for finding the time. And it's Christmas, so my schedule's, there is no schedule. Hi, Adam. I decided that your comment showed up last night. I replied to you on my YouTube channel, but it didn't show up unless I'm signed in. So I don't know. My comment don't show up to reply unless I'm signed in. Looks like you got censored, Adam, buddy. I know a lot of people do. Sylvia! Just make sure I say goodnight to everybody. Anybody's sitting back. Candace! M. Thirst! Aquarius Charms! Everybody, good night, everybody. Come back up to the top. And I got everybody. Okay, good stream. We had a nice little chat. 55, 59 minutes. See, I never even checked the time. I got an instinct now. 55 minutes. That's all cool, too. And we called out a Lion PR firm with 3,400 subscribers who supplies us with an idiot as his evidence. And we debunked that with Dr. Raymond Gilman. Hey! The man everybody and every dog fears and every man hates. Every animal lover should despise anybody like that. And let me see. What can I say? When it's all said and done, we took that boat, we done the whole coastline, we showed an extinction event. And then the 5,600 species are gone, the 4 million other species didn't receive the coastline. It's time to stop the lie. It's time to stop the game. It's time to end nuclear, because Fukushima, whether they want to admit it or not, and I'm sure they do, has killed nuclear permanently. They're just raping the system while everybody's still in the dark. And ultimately, they will pay the price, because they will lose all their loved ones for what they're doing to us by proxy of hiding it for this long without giving this planet a chance. Good night, everybody. Take care. We'll see everybody as soon as we can. I'm Dana Durnford, the NuclearProctologist.org, and you can find my videos in Fukushima presentations at livestream.com and on Beautiful Girl by Dana on YouTube. Good night, folks.